Sell one thing for 10 years and you'll be rich. Now that's true, but what nobody tells you is what that actually means and how many nuances are involved to 10x your growth compared to somebody else who's selling the exact same service. So for context, it took me 3 years to get to my first 100K a month with my first agency and 2 months to get to my first 100K a month with my second agency. And both were selling marketing services to the e-com and info product space. So for the first 3 years, I was selling meta ads to e-com brands. But once I started scaling, I started seeing gaps meta ads just couldn't fix with the brands I worked with. So I added an email partner to help with retention. Then I added a Google division. Then I added an SEO division, partly because we took equity in one of our brands, and one of the first things buyers look at if they're trying to acquire an e-com brand is if all paid traffic was to be turned off. How healthy is the brand? Organic is the answer to that question. But during that 3-year period of growth and scale, I would get approached by a ton of THC, magic mushroom, telehealth, like before peptides were a thing, just these gray area brands. Now, if you've been running ads, you know how much this sucks because these types of brands are constantly getting their ads restricted by Meta and Google. And yes, I know there are a ton of ways and loopholes to run Meta ads for these brands. I am very well aware. But the point is, they're desperate for marketing that actually works and doesn't get restricted. And so I took that pain point with the exact same service of SEO, because SEO doesn't get restricted, and I just pointed SEO towards this audience that had a higher pain point. And we added another 100K a month in 2 months with around 12K in ad spend. Now, there's more context than that, obviously, but the real lesson here is you don't pivot your service when it gets hard. You don't really even pivot the industry you're working with. You just get better at reading where your market is bleeding, and you just point the same skill at that wound. If you sell one thing for 10 years, great, you're gonna make a lot of money. Just make sure you're paying attention so you can cut the 10 years to 5 years.